should do actually this week. I think it's perfectly fine, going live, having to drink a whole thing of orange juice is good for you, right?
Mm-hmm. You're gonna drop and drink that entire thing. That's definitely not good for
This
you.
is expired.
What do you mean? April 30th.
It's expired, and they gave it to me.
She wanted to kill you.
I think so. I think I'm still gonna drink it, but the problem is it's 22. This whole thing has 22 grams of sugar.
You're gonna kill yourself.
I think I'll be fine.
Don't drink it.
And we do that. Oh, we're live, by the way. And
we are live?
We're going.
Oh snap!
As we sit here, hold on. I need some refreshments as we do this. It doesn't taste it. What's up there, little brothers and big sisters? Good to see you. We're Degens On Air. We're your co-host Kyle. This is all the way Paul.
What's on, everybody?
How we doing it? It has a really bad aftertaste.
Yeah, it's expired for over almost 2 weeks at this point.
Not good.
You shouldn't drink that.
I don't think I should probably hold on. I'm actually gonna wash that down. That was pretty bad. I can wash it down. Oh my god, Paul! After like 2 weeks, we finally got it set up. Everything going. Yeah. The set is ready. I think the set came out beautiful. I think we look good.
I think we look great. Our skins are probably awful. Probably all greased up.
We probably sweaty and everything.
Sweaty.
I think the worst part of it is us having to do it is because we were able to get the technology for it done pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I just think it's more essentially like actually putting into practice and setting everything up because it was like our first time doing it.
Yeah. There's a little bit of flaws that I could see already just looking at our little setup here, but honestly, it came out really good for being planned less than a month.
Yeah, planning less than a month. Luckily, I think it's because we're tech savvy.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of know what we're doing.
Yeah, it works out in a positive way.
Definitely, that's what I definitely.
I just want everybody to know. Headphones are right here. We're gonna talk about these so much.
We'll talk about them a little bit. But I think talking about the setup is a big part of it. Having, starting essentially like you were kind of like starting our own like Amazon list and stuff like that, like saying, hey, I think we need this. Hey, I think we need some of that. And I think a lot of people get through that part of an actual, like getting through that part of an actual podcast, I think is easy. Like actually getting the actual stuff going. Yeah. And I think it's everything else that's where the people go.
I mean, what really helped, honestly, was the fact that we both sat down together. We started shopping together, and then we kind of split up. You'll do these things, I'll do these things, and then we'll meet up on a random day, and then we all just brought everything that we got.
Makes it a lot easier. I think what makes it a lot easier is the fact that like I have every Saturday off.
Oh, that too. Honestly, that really helps it.
So it makes it super helpful.
Yeah, super helpful.
It does. But no, I'm excited we were able to get it up. I think it's pretty important to do it. It kind of sucks that I have to be like tech bitch right now.
Yeah.
I kind of have like everything going, being able to switch back to like me, going to the whole set, and then switching it over like to you and your pretty face. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of adjustments. Honestly, we still need to work on our gain. We still need to work on our. That like popped off in my ear pretty well. Yeah, like much with the sounds. I'd ask that you refrain doing that. We're gonna avoid from that.
Yeah, and not scream either.
That I don't know.
Because like I think what most people need to understand is I've known you for like 15 years, and my chronic ear damage is probably because
there's a good amount, honestly.
Like, and not even that. Like, I don't think you understand how much you've hurt my ears.
I've been told that multiple times.
In the 15 years I've known you, but it's pretty funny. But no, I guess it's interesting to let people know what exactly it is we're going to be talking about. Yeah. And, as they see the name itself, it's like, yeah, it's exactly that. We're going to be talking about some degenerate shit.
Degenerate shit.
It could be, I think it could be like either a bunch of things. Like we could, we're very much into video games, being into music, movies, sports. A few of us, not so many of us, I think, depending on who we bring in. So the idea is to bring, a person in at a time.
Yeah.
A person we find funny, a person we interact with a lot, and just getting that stuff out there. The main question is are we ever going to get serious? I think that's the probably like biggest question. People probably like might want to know about what's going to go on here.
My idea for this is kind of what you said. I want to have discussions about anything.
Okay.
Yeah, the show's called Degens On Air, but I wanted to have a place to be able to speak about anything, bring on the people that we want. A lot of the people we're going to bring up are going to be funny people. Some of them are going to be serious, and some of them are not going to be serious.
The main part is they are degenerate about something.
Exactly.
Some
aspect of them is going to be very...
degenerate. Well, just so I have it. Hold on. Just so like I can see it. Let me look up degenerate definition. I'm actually a little curious. So for all of you who are probably... What? Oh. Okay, so I think it has two definitions. The first definition is having declined or become less specialized from an ancestral or former state. And then the next one is having sunk to a condition below that which is normal to a type.
There you go.
I think degenerate is just a good way of like saying you're down bad on something.
You're down bad.
Essentially is what it could be. And definitely been down bad a lot. I don't think that technically makes us a degenerate, but we definitely have some like degenerate tendencies.
Very.
I think the funniest one probably in our friend group specifically is probably our movie commentary, like doing our movie nights.
Yeah, it's awful. We could barely watch the film.
It's like I want to watch the film, but I also want to hear the smut that comes out of everybody's mouth.
Yeah, we're just picking apart the movies here and there, and then just realize how shitty some movies are.
Yeah, like we had Planet of the Apes came out today, which is pretty awesome, and we want to go see it, because we're watching like franchises and stuff together on Discord, and we were watching the first one with James Franco or Franco, whatever the fuck, and it was hilarious because we all knew what was going to happen to the movie, like when Caesar goes like, no! Yeah. And then before the scene even happens, everybody's yelling, no, like we're already playing out the scene.
Yeah, you guys spoiled it for me. That was the first time I was watching it.
You had never seen Planet of the Apes before? First time I ever watched Planet of the Apes. Not even the old ones? Even the old like ones. From the 70s, I think they came out? Yeah. Really?
First time.
That's really bad, Paul.
Yeah. That's why I only knew. The only person I knew was Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he gets killed by a monkey, by a primate standing straight up, I might add.
That movie was great, though. Looking forward to watch the one that's coming out in theaters. Or is it already out?
It's already out. It came out today. We also have, I think we have 2 more movies. I think what we watched was Planet of the Apes, and then we have Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and then War from the Planet of the Apes, and then the new one that just came out was Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay.
So we have 2 movies to catch up. Then we have to go see the one in theaters. I'm excited for it just because I myself am part Neanderthal. So I'm closer to a monkey than I am, I think, a person. So when those apes just start howling, it's like I understand from an ancestral point as we go. But yeah, no, that's what I look forward to. I don't know what else is coming out this year.
That's honestly the one. The only thing I'm looking forward to is House of the Dragon.
That's right. House of the Dragon. You weren't a part of the group that used to go to my old place to watch the end of Game of Thrones, right?
No,
you missed out, man.
Yeah, but I watch it with my mom though. She loves Game of Thrones.
Not something I'd be watching with my mother. My father, maybe, because my father's a he's the king degenerate that we all know.
Yeah, my father doesn't know what's going on with a lot of the new pop culture stuff. Unlike my mother. No. My mother just...
My father makes it a point to know it and then call me and tell me about it.
Oh, you should see your video. Remember the video you posted when your dad
he was in his
crazy?
Underwear?
Yeah,
he had no problem being on film in his underwear for random people. And I think
all over the internet.
But that's just him. That's what makes it the worst. Like, he's met people. Like, I'm talking ex-girlfriends and, like, friends just in his underwear. Like, I'm talking ass cheek, nutsack out. Just doesn't care.
Your dad's an interesting fellow, honestly.
I think what's interesting about my father is he's hit a point in his life where he no longer gives a shit what he does because he's getting to that age of retirement. And I think he has made a democratic decision in the back of his small yet apparent subconscious to now annoy his children as much as possible.
I feel like that's the goal of every parent. It's like my mother. My mother just leaves now at any time. She just goes on trips.
That might be something else.
That might be something else, but
might be something completely
different.
I would probably say
I'm all for parents doing whatever they want. Like your father, he just does what he wants when he wants. not giving a damn what people really think.
No, it's really gotten to the point where he stopped giving a shit.
Exactly.
It's really bad.
That's freedom.
But it truly is freedom.
Truly
like when
is
you hit
freedom.
that point in your life when you're not caring anymore.
Yeah.
And I think that's what most people just don't get. Like I hope there's a point I get to there.
Yeah.
You know, not to make us feel bad, but we turned 30 in 2 years. Well, I do.
Yeah, I was like, you do.
I do. You just turned 27.
I got 3 years,
You have
baby.
3 years because that's right. I always forget that like was never supposed to be in the group with you guys because I got left back.
You got left back
like
because,
an idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm not a fan about the grade I got left back in either.
Mhm.
I got left back in first grade.
Was it first grade?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, I was thinking like everybody gets left back in kindergarten for like your date of birth and all that, but you're in November, baby, now.
Yeah, no.
So no, you
they
should
said,
have
yeah,
been
you're going to
saved.
start like a year later or something. And I was like, ¿por qué? Like, why?
That's why you got left back.
That's why. Right,
That's exactly why you got left back.
We were talking about that before. We were walking back from the store.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know why por qué I brought it up. I was just speaking Spanish, but some of the degeneracy in our high school growing.
Yeah, it was just filled with a lot of.
I mean,
say that.
I shouldn't. Can't say that about high schoolers anymore.
Yeah. No.
No. I think the funniest that we spoke about was, so for those of you who don't know, we grew up in northern New Jersey, right across the water from the city, and we had a large population of people in our school who couldn't speak English. Massive. I think about 20% of our graduating class actually didn't speak a word of English. It's crazy to think that.
Yeah.
Because I was getting a B+ in English class. I'd love to know what those people were getting.
They're failing. Crazy.
Not even that. I don't even think they were.
Even showing up.
But I was a student, never showed up. When we graduated high school, mind you, this is getting close to 10 years ago. Yeah. So like 10 years ago, I'm probably looking at maybe like 11 absences of class. I never went to school. I hated every minute of it.
Yeah, I remember you were always out all the time.
Even in college, like I just hated going to class. And I would text my professors like, I'm not going. They'd be like, oh, you're going to lose a letter grade. I'm like, but how? Like, I'm paying to be here.
Yeah.
Like, I should be able to come to this building whenever the fuck I want to.
Mm-hmm.
That's why in my college, I went to Bloomfield College, and I was allowed to access like any building I wanted to. Like they had a mocap studio, and I was interested in taking it. And this is the reason I actually didn't take it. So the reason I didn't take it was because what ended up happening was I went to go see like the studio itself to see what it looked like, to see the program. And there was this really fat nerd there. And now the reason I use fat to describe this person is because when somebody is fat, and I feel like
here we go.
I feel like it disqualifies their authority just a little bit. Like, think about this. If you were to get arrested, if a fat cop were arresting you, how much respect do you lose for that cop because they're obese?
A lot.
That's what I'm saying. So
it's like the same thing if your doctor tells you to lose weight, but your doctor's
my doctor,
overweight.
So I've never had a fat doctor for that reason.
Exactly. You want an in-shape doctor because they're telling you lose weight. All right, you're in good shape.
Because you could probably bench press me and beat the living shit out of me. I'm going to start doing what you did. So that's why I mentioned this person was fat. Now, I walked into the studio just to see, and he was sitting perched up on the chair like this. I imagine like one of those fat people who sit at the front of a chair because they like, if they sit all the way in the back of the chair, much like a turtle when it falls over, they ain't getting up. Like that's a problem. So I walked in and I was like, hey, so what's going on here? And he goes, you're not allowed to be in here unless the professor, I forgot what the professor's name was, but if like Professor Teacher doesn't give you access to this. And I looked at him, I'm like, my key card opened up the door. And they're like, yeah, but you'll need specific access. And I said, all right, fuck off, fatty. Like, I already don't. So I didn't take mocap for that reason. Like, if those are the people taking it, I don't want to be in that group because I work well with others. But if I was almost going to say I don't work well with fat people, but then I realized I'm also fat.
I was about to say,
I'm also fat as well. So that's one thing. But
you've lost a good amount of weight, honestly.
I think I'm down like 30 now from when I first started.
Which was like, what, 5 months ago?
I don't know.
4?
My sister's wedding was in December. That's when I like noticed I was like
so about 5.
Yeah, like I was like a greasy piece of shit like in December. And I think I'm down like, I was like 305.
So now you're in the 270s.
I think like in the 270s.
That's good.
I just like hit that point where it's like my schedule's work is changing. We're doing this now, so it's like hard to find that time to get to the gym. Mind you, the gym is 5 minutes from.
Yeah, your gym is
The gym
here.
is 5 minutes from where the studio is. So this is
Yeah.
amazing.
No, but honestly, like the progress you've done since December when you showed me the videos and you're at your sister's wedding,
Bro.
you've lost a considerable amount of
Oh
weight.
yeah, no,
honestly.
I look like a pudgy piece of shit.
Yeah,
Like I looked at myself and I'm just like, dude, it's
Yeah.
no wonder I'm single 3 years later. Like
yeah.
I am horrifying to look at.
I wouldn't say you're horrifying. but
No, horrifying.
You definitely had to improve. I mean, we both have to improve.
I think just
honestly.
everybody
is always
across the
trying to
board.
improve.
And I think my biggest thing was, just mostly was just not moving as much. Like now I
Yeah.
go for like a 3-mile walk.
Yeah,
every
now you
day.
walk.
Yeah, I walk in sweaters,
Exactly.
sweating my ass off, smelling like
Yeah.
absolute ass when I
It's a
get
cheat
back.
code.
It really is. And
It's
then
honestly
I
a cheat
walk
code.
to the gym sometimes.
Yeah.
It's awesome. Oh, while we were talking about fat people, going back to the people who don't speak English in our high school, I always found it hilarious that not only the student body, but the faculty referred to those people as no speakies. And we were talking about this before.
Yeah.
Could you imagine in 2024,
Get
like,
canceled.
not even just canceled, like,
License is taken away.
bro, like that
jobs lost.
That school would become just like unaccredited. Like it would
No,
lose
it
all
would lose
its
all credibility.
reputation.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, let me take attendance. Ramon, por aquí. It's like, oh shit, you're one of those, huh? Like we actually had teachers.
Yeah,
like
the amount of bullying from our teachers
it was
alone was
insane.
ridiculous.
The worst part
Imagine now. Like that wouldn't be
I
able
would
to
imagine
happen.
it's that bad now.
I think it would be better, honestly.
Yeah, because I don't think any teachers want to get in trouble.
Lose their job over some stupid
Also, I think it's
joke.
good to let all listeners know that we're both of Hispanic descent.
Yeah.
First generation immigrants from Hispanic people. Even though I don't look like it, like if you were to look at me on the street, you would ask me, where were you January 6th?
I still think you're white.
I mean, yeah, but like there's white people and then there's those white people.
Yeah, for sure.
Like it's almost like, hey, like on January 6th, you weren't on Discord. Where were you?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me tell you where I was actually. I was wearing a furry hat somewhere, painting my fucking face.
Yeah.
But there's no way it's that bad anymore.
I don't think so. I think it's gotten a lot better. There's a lot more to be scrutinized now every
I think
day.
so, yeah.
A kid's video could just go viral on like TikTok, Insta, or just even like the local HUD post in our case.
Oh yeah, HUD post.
It could literally just go viral there, and then it just ruins an entire teacher's career.
Didn't the teacher get kicked in the face on one? I think like the teacher got like.
Yeah, I think so.
One of them. I'm not going to say their name, even though I remember the name. I'm
Yeah.
just not going to say it. But he got like fucking kicked. Like it was like Lionel Messi making the craziest free kick in the world.
From like a few kids, there was like a fight. It was like a 1v3.
Dude,
1v3.
what would your parents have done if they found out you physically assaulted a teacher?
Oh, dude, I would get my ass beat.
Like my father, like I think I'd be dead.
No, yeah. 100.
Like I think he'd commit murder, kill me, and then tell the cops he did it, and then somehow persuade the cops to be like, nice, yeah, we get that. Like, he was a little asshole.
Kids are crazy. No matter how mad you could be, honestly, it's like you can't be to the point where you're beating up somebody like that, like a teacher. In the 3v1 in that case, in that specific one that I believe you're referring to.
The one he was on the floor. And
he was on the floor.
Yeah, he got kicked.
He was surrounded by them.
Yeah, and he was that's the exact video I'm talking about. Even if I had the video, I wouldn't show it. That's a really, really fucked up video. But yeah, no, I think about us in high school, and we talk about it a lot on Discord with our friends. Like some of the shit like we witnessed in high school. Like I tell my dad all the time, like when he talks about like the town we grew up in, and we can say no problem. Like we grew up in like North Bergen, New Jersey. And when you think of like people who grew up in our town, like most notably like Joey Diaz, I think he talks about such a different North Bergen.
Completely different.
I'm like, no, you weren't living in North Bergen. You were living in like one of like the autonomous zones like going on in like one of the fucking campuses right now. Just no law. Like my dad was telling me a story. He's like, yeah, you know, when we were younger, my dad does sound like Joey Diaz. He's also built like him, same size too. Either both. Like my dad would just tell me, he's like, yeah, you know, growing up, you know, somebody was talking shit. Like your buddies would just go and just beat the shit out of him in broad daylight. I'm like, yeah, that's called assault these days. Like if I had a problem with somebody, I'm not grabbing my friends to beat the shit out of them. And my dad telling me just everybody was how easy like cocaine was accessible in the 80s. He's like, yeah, but specifically North Bergen, you know. And I'm just like, yeah, no, because that was just the cocaine capital of New Jersey for some fucking reason.
Crazy. It's like one of our friends. I refuse. I'm not saying their name right now, but our friend's dad. He always went out with his friends and had the only amount of drugs at like some liquor, some bar, and I believe in Hoboken, New Jersey. It was basically right next to North Bergen. But like back then,
Oh, I
back
broke.
in like the
Sorry.
'80s, I would say it sounded like drugs was easily available.
It's almost like drugs were everywhere.
Drugs were
like
everywhere.
in like North New Jersey, you could
Yeah.
find them. So like the North Bergen they talk about is
It's crazy.
not where we grew up. Like I think the craziest thing we witnessed in high school was some dude getting thrown into the ceiling that I think made it on World Star at one point.
I don't remember that.
I think it did. Because remember we used to watch World Star, like the fight comps, and then they ended up saying like, oh, like this person got into like, and then what they did was remember we had like those fake
Yeah,
ceilings?
the fake, the little
yeah,
squares.
they picked him up and threw him into it, just unprompted. I'm not really sure what happened there, but that's what they did. And then the most infamous one of our friends and I, this keeps me up in the middle of the night. So what keeps me up at night is not like all my other issues going on in the world. It's the fact that in high school, someone took a shit in front of an elevator.
Oh my God, you didn't even want to bring that up.
We still don't know who it was. I also just noticed the set broke, which is great. I just noticed the set broke. I'm just gonna like position myself to like block
Just
it.
hide it.
I don't care at this point. But yeah, we talk about that because the way someone discovered it was they slipped and they fell in it.
Yeah.
So like there was a trick to that maneuver. Like they either walked by, popped their pants down real quick, and or they had it in their hand, like holding it.
Yeah, they were or had it in like their pants, just dropped their pants.
They like had it in their inventory, just sitting there, just
ready.
quickly dropped, like
and run
fast.
and get away without ever being caught.
Yeah, but I hope if he had it in his hands, he went to the bathroom.
I would hope a lot more things.
That's what I would hope so too. And I was trying to think, like we were talking before. Not really sure. There were a bunch of things in high school that were weird. The craziest thing was like when people would get exposed on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like how illegal that is. Yeah. Like, hey, yeah, look, this person, like, listen, at least to me, nudes are very boring.
I could see it.
Because it's like, you're ruining the fun.
Okay.
Like, like, I get, the way I would see it is, if you're talking to someone, you're getting intimate, or at least me, because maybe it's like, and sometimes I think I am on the spectrum, like, with the way I think, it's like, okay, if you're getting intimate with a person, I like getting intimate not in like you sending me a picture of you going butterflied next to your fucking mirror. Like that does nothing for me. It's just it's more along those lines of where it's like you kind of like maybe I'm old school or I'm fucking boomer when I think about that, but it's like seeing it in person is better.
100%. It's never gonna match up to being in person with them. Like me, it's like for some whatever reason, nudes to me is just like, oh cool, but I'm still not with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like I want that connection before, like, and then seeing photo after photo after photo to me at some point it's just tease/blue balls.
This may sound crazy, but like if someone sends me a nude, I actually critique their background. Like someone sent it to me one time and I was very flattered by it. Do not get me wrong. Like if I'm getting it, I'm going to enjoy it. They had a really messy room.
I'm sure it makes you judge them more.
It
like
does.
A messy mirror or like a wet mirror.
No,
that they
not
don't
even
clear.
that. Like, so this is what bothered me the most. And so she sent it. Like, obviously, like the point of sending like a personal picture like that is like for you to see their body or like initiate a conversation that you're having on. But no, like I noticed in the back that like she leaves open canisters on her desk, like open like bottles, like something like this, like with liquid in it.
Like just multiple?
There's multiple of them. And you could clearly tell by like the flash that there's actually like there's liquid still in those. So it would get me so mad. I'd be like, no, like what are you doing with your life? Like close your fucking canisters.
Well, I was thinking she's sending nudes. That's what she's doing for life. She'd rather send nudes than clean her own room.
That's one.
Showed her importance.
I was like,
and also shows us at the time as well. We're probably just as like, oh my God, we want that nude. We don't care in the background. But then after you start critiquing it more, you're like, oh shit.
You ever like look back to like how you think you were in high school? Because I know like I was such a scumbag. Yeah. Like when it came to talk, like I would just flat out lie to people and have fun with it too.
I was. So to give them context, the audience context, it's like me and Kyle were very different back in high school.
Yeah,
like, Kyle was very, from my perspective, we were friends, but we weren't.
We were friends because we were in homeroom.
We were in the homeroom,
so we
together.
saw each other every single day, Monday.
But if honestly, like, he was way more. What's the word I want to describe you? Like you were very personable, very outgoing. I would say outgoing, not necessarily in a good way.
I was about to say, I think you're teetering on like the word like asshole.
Yeah, well, you were an asshole.
Yeah, I think that's what you're looking for there.
While me, I didn't start becoming more of myself until like junior or senior year of high school when I started coming out of my shell. Because my freshman and sophomore year,
I'm sorry.
all I thought about
I
was
honestly thought you were about to say before you were coming out of the
no,
closet.
no, not that. But
I was like, wait, I don't think we've ever had that conversation.
it's like episode 1, we're just gonna do that. Nah,
Just come right out.
I was very calm and very to myself my first 2 years of high school, probably even the third year. It wasn't until senior year until it became much more where I am now.
Yeah, I mean, high school for me was kind of like I kind of just did whatever I
mean, you were
wanted.
crazy the whole 4 years that I've known you.
Yeah, I said whatever I wanted,
Exactly.
did whatever I wanted. I had a reputation that most people would not want these days. And
Exactly.
that's why I'm very glad when, like, the minute we graduated, I stopped talking to most, if not all, those people.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. If I talk to those people today,
Yeah, I'm sure you'll say hello or
yeah, it's not even that. It's
not-
just like, hey, like, Kyle, you were kind of a piece of shit in high school. And I'd be like,
Exactly.
I exactly was, and I apologize for that.
Yeah.
Although I'm 28 years old, so I don't give a fuck what happened 14 years ago.
Yeah,
anymore.
now at this point it doesn't matter.
It's like, if it still bothers you,
Mhm.
like, I wish I had a free mortgage like that in my house, because
Yeah, no.
I definitely don't now.
caught grudges for no reason.
That's
in
what
my
I'm
opinion,
saying.
honestly.
I'm switching the camera to you because this thing falling is bothering the shit out of me.
That's awesome.
Forgot my Gatorade here. I thought it was open. I thought I just.
All right, and we're done here. But yeah, high school Kyle and high school Paul, completely different people. We it's surprising sometimes when I look at us now at 27, 28 that they were this close as friends. Because in high school, I would have never believed that we would be friends that long.
Yeah,
at this point, it's
I
like
could definitely see that. It's not.
speak to each other every single day.
I don't even think it's not like, hey, like we couldn't even be friends. It's like, dude, like you were such in a different social circle than me. Not to say like, so I don't think there were any like popular kids. I feel like that fad died out in the late 90s, early 2000s. And for anyone wondering, we went to high school in the early 2010s. Like we graduated 2014, 2015, 2015. Yeah, 2015 we graduated. So yeah, I don't think like popular kids existed anymore around that time. And I think what was funny about our high school the most was this is going to sound really fucked up, is that some of the people who were like at the top of that social pyramid, like they just suck now as people.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
They just, like I've met, like I see people because obviously like we grew up in a big town. North Bergen is a very densely populated town, but it's also very small, and like in terms of like social circles. So like with me, even now when I go to North Bergen, I can't fucking stand seeing people. I think it's the most inebriating thing in the world.
Is it because it probably brings back memories, or
no? It's just because I hate every single person that I probably used to talk to. So it's like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I'm good here. Like like I would hear, so like in high school, no one ever called me Kyle. I was either called Cole or White Boy. Yeah, how insane how that was just allowed back then. And I would be like walking in the street, or like I could be at Target or something, and be like, "Yo, Cole," and I'll be like, "I want to die." Like someone recognized me. I don't want to be here. But it's no high school. I'm glad if someone says like, "Oh, dude, I'd go back and I would do like all 4 years of high school again." I'm like, you've aspired to nothing.
Yeah,
Your life fucking sucks if that's what you're thinking. I wouldn't even go back and do my first 4 years of college.
No.
And mind you, I dropped out of college like 3 weeks in. Sorry, Mom. Sorry, Dad. I dropped out almost. I mean, I went back years later, but I wasn't sitting there saying like, I remember I talk to people now that I see who like kind of, I guess the word is rekindle. Even though I think liking like an Instagram picture or something is not fucking rekindling. Like I forgot you followed me. No, but they'll be like, "Yo, man, what have you been up to?" When I answer it, I always kind of use the same answer, like copy and paste answer. But it's when they tell me what they've been up to, I immediately judge. Like, wow, so you're in the same town doing the same thing, working this. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
Like I don't put people down who want to stay in their hometown and give back to the community. I think that's very admirable.
Yeah.
But if you want to live, grow up, develop, mature, and then potentially have kids and do the same thing in your same, like that is horrible to me. Like, get the fuck out of your hometown, go live somewhere else, and go experience life. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's much more than the 07047 fucking zip code. Like, there's a lot more to it than that fucking stretch of town. Like, I am so glad that I've lived in so many places.
Yeah.
Like, in the past few years, because it shows me how shitty that fucking town is sometimes. Like, especially with the parking and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's a city town. It's like a city town. It's a city type environment, so there's no parking anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think what helps is I just genuinely hate people. Like,
you're always gonna see people. Unlike here, you walk around your block and it's just like,
no. Like in this sports, like when it comes to like just human beings, I just hate them. Like I just hate people.
Elaborate on this.
So like I'm the type. So like if I go to like ShopRite and I could be going to pick up a rotisserie chicken, something that is right in the entrance. I like walk in and just someone randomly tries talking to me and be like, motherfucker. Like who do they think they are? Like I just don't want to associate with people. Like I know that sounds sociopathic in so many ways, but I don't want. I'm good. Like when this may sound okay. This one may sound really bad. You know how they always have like events at ShopRite?
Yeah.
Like, you walk up, they're like, "Hey, please, like, can you please, like, for $1, you can save someone." It's like, I'm thinking of taking $1. Like, I'm not giving you one. I might steal $1 from you. Like,
from the little box.
Like, stop asking me a question.
It's like the one in Christmas when they're ringing the bell. I think it's like the Salvation Army, I believe it is.
Yeah, so funny story about that. So just so everyone understands, I have a huge distaste of the city of New York. You know this better than most people.
We both hate New York.
Yeah, I think that city needs to fucking burn to the ground and sink, and everybody in it, hopefully, to be there. The reason I hate New York is just simply because, one, the people suck, and two, that city just smells like 24/7. Like it's really bad, and I can't stand New York at all. So one Christmas, my family always goes to see the tree, which I guess is like one of the perks.
Yeah, the one Rockefeller Center.
Yeah, that one. No, because of course, what other fucking tree would it be? Hang a tree from fucking the Empire State Building? Yeah, it's the one from fucking Rockefeller Center. So I always go there with my family to see that, and you know, having a son, he enjoys it. All the lights, all the pretty colors, and everything. It is pretty cool. I definitely enjoy it. But what's funniest about it is one year I must have been like 16, 17. I might have even been 18. Like we were still in high school. And we were walking, and one of those Salvation Army Santas were ringing the bell, just doing their thing, man. My mom put a 20 in there. My sister will put a 10. And as I was walking, like he rang it in my ear. He's like, "Come on, help out the poor." And instinctively, I turned around, and it wasn't loud, but it was audible. Like people heard it. I turned around and just said, "Fuck the poor." I said, "Fuck every single one of them." Because I got so annoyed that he rang it in my ear, and he looked at me as if I was
Satan's little kid,
that, or like I was about to be convicted of like a felon murder.
You're about to get arrested in New York
Something
City,
like
Rockefeller Center.
And the worst part is like my family looked at me and they're like, "What's wrong with you?" And my response then was like, "I just hate the poor." Like I doubled down on it because I was so angry.
Bad as well. At that point, you're gonna get in trouble regardless of the fact.
Exactly, but it's like, don't bother me.
Yeah.
Like another thing is too is like, how are you gonna sit there and bother me when I'm doing something? Like I think one of the favorite stories I've told you is when the person who pulled my headphone out.
In college.
Yeah, and again, just so I make this clear to all the viewers, I don't care if you protest, whatever you protest. You're allowed to believe in whatever you want to believe. I don't care, because it's not me. You're not forcing me to believe in it, and you're not holding a gun to my head. More power to you. So there is a universal law in this world that we live in that if somebody has their headphones on, you're not bothering them. And if somebody walks up to you with headphones on and bothers you, they are instantly seen like they're seen as a scumbag. So I was sitting down working on a paper because I like to get a lot of my homework done on campus, so I didn't have to bring it home.
Yeah.
And I had my headphones in, and the person came up, pulled the headphone out, and said to me, they wanted me to sign a petition for something. Which by the way, nobody reads petitions anymore. Like nobody gives a shit.
I don't care.
I don't care anymore. Like who's gonna see? Oh, dude, Kyle signed this. Fuck. Like we need to get this going. Like this bill right here. Done. Vetoed. You see, Paul Castro's name's on, nobody does that.
Yeah, no, nobody cares.
And they asked me for their signature, and I just looked at them and immediately insulted that person. Told them to get the fuck away from me, and then dropped a a slur I probably shouldn't have, and they looked at me like I was the asshole in that situation.
It's like, you actually touched me.
Yeah,
like, you shouldn't have even touched me.
it's like, could you imagine going through life doing that consistently to people, thinking you're not doing anything
exactly.
wrong?
They thought they were in the right, and in reality, you're not.
No, you're not. You're like a fucking psychopath.
Imagine if you were a female too. You probably would have. It could have been even
It
worse.
was a female who did it to me.
Exactly.
That was it. It was a female, but it was just. It's like, why are you bothered? Like, the worst part is there were other people around me who didn't have headphones on.
Yeah.
So,
And
like,
decided to bother you.
That's what I'm saying. Like, why are you bothering me, all people? Like, one, you don't obviously understand I'm hostile.
Well, yeah, we could tell you're hostile.
As a person in general, I tend to be very hostile. To those I don't know, because like I said, I just hate people. And two, it's like, I'm in the cafeteria. Like, go to the student center where people go there to chat about what's going on campus. Like, I'm sitting here as a fat slob trying to shove like this $8 chicken teriyaki bowl down my throat, and you're here telling me about like, hey, we want to save the feet of trees. I don't give a shit. I hope all the trees burn down.
Do you remember
now.
what the petition there was? No.
Probably something environmental.
Environmental?
Yeah, it had to be something like, probably like, preserve this. And I'm just like, no, it's fucking blitzkrieg it and raise it to the ground at this point. Like, the minute you annoy me, I wish the worst for like anything. But it's hilarious. Listen, man, just don't bother me. If like that goes to hand, just don't bother anyone. But that's just what it is.
Just life lessons in general. Don't bother anybody.
No, don't. And it's not even that. It's like, I don't want to commit a crime, but
wow,
if they force me to, I will defend myself.
I still remember when you called me when I was doing my final for one of my math classes in college. Then I get a phone call by you that you're getting taken out of your classroom. I
got pulled out by security.
You pulled up by security.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, I'm just calling you just in case I might need you to get me out of
Yeah,
GD.
I called you in case I needed bail or something because I got pulled out by security. That wasn't even my fault. No. We just had one of my history professors. I think I was going for my associates.
I believe it was associates.
Might have been my associates. I won't say where I went to school for my associates just because might implicate some professors if they're still there. And it was a history professor, and what they did was like, okay, every last Thursday of the semester, like of the month, like we're gonna have a debate. I was like, all right, cool. And the debate that we had then was like, it was almost like it had something to do with like changing definitions of words, but like you're not changing it, you're adding on to it. So you know how like the word gay has multiple meanings?
Yeah.
It's like now this was like 2019 maybe.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, now other words are being given other meanings that completely are disassociated from the word. Like when someone says gay, you don't think homosexual. Like, well, you do think homosexual.
Well, I was going to say, I actually
you think homosexual,
now.
But you know how when someone be like, oh, that's gay, like they might mean it's stupid.
Yeah.
It's like that word has nothing to do with like stupidity or anything.
Exactly.
It's like, but also people don't use gay as in happy anymore.
No.
So like this word now has 3 different meanings when really it's only supposed to have like 1.
Exactly.
So we were going over that, and I forgot what the topic was. And this woman obviously disagreed with what I was saying. How did I know? Because she was screaming at the top of her fucking teenage lungs.
I remember she was screaming.
And me, I approach all those situations like prison mentality. So I get immediately hostile, or I start laughing in her face immediately. So I was laughing in her face very hard. And then she took it upon herself to go to security. She stormed out of the classroom and tell security I was harassing her. My professor was so blown away by what he was seeing that when I got pulled back into the class, he looked at me and he was like, hey man, like, I'm just going to pass you for the debate. Like, you're not going to do another debate for the rest of the semester. I'm just going to give you an A. And I was just like, my response, I think, was, I was like, what about that bitch? Like, if I'm getting an A, he's like, oh, she's done. Like, that's.
Did she fail or
I don't care what happened to her. I hope she's doing well in life. Hope she got married, had some kids. Hope
don't bring up that word for her.
Yeah, just, I don't know what it was. I probably still have the old assignment that I had to write on it. But dude, there was just like, that's probably the worst I've ever done. Like getting close to a crime is like calling to you and be like, hey, I might need bail money. Just got pulled from a history class for winning a debate.
Hey, Paul, I need you to potentially come pick me up from jail because I'm getting taken away by the police. Oh, okay, yeah. Let me just finish my final, please.
Hey man, listen. Had I gotten had I gotten actually pulled out and like put into a squad car, I probably would have been laughing so hard in the back of that squad car. So I'm like, there's no way. There is no way. I kind of hope it had gotten escalated to that point so I could like tell people about it and be like,
I wish I would have shown up to the precinct and just
and been like, yeah,
selfie.
It's like, yeah, I'm here for Kyle. He won a debate and apparently he's now serving 30 days to 60 or like 25 to life.
Harassment.
Oh, this actually reminds me. So I've wanted to show you something for a while now. And hold on, what I've wanted to show you, I'll put it over here. I can I don't think you've seen this yet, but I'm going to show you.
Mug shotties?
So this is something called mug shotties. I don't know if you've seen this before.
Are these like bad bitches or they're mug shots?
So these women, you're not going to refer to them as bitches on this show, all right? These women are beautiful. And some of them have been wrongly convicted of what they've done. However, their mugshots are absolutely fire. So I'm going to show you one just because I think it's funny. Look at this one. So this one was aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Now here's what the funniest thing about this is the comments. So if you look at
after turning the lights off.
Okay. Yeah. So in her defense, Your Honor, I can't.
Wow. Now you're now we're kink shaming. Okay.
So this person is verified. Her birthstone is rock bottom.
She's actually pretty attractive.
That's the thing. But she would like it's. I find it hilarious because these women are obviously
she got titty out.
Yeah, these women are obviously very beautiful. But like, look at this one. Engaged in prostitution. Not prostitution if I genuinely love her.
I want her to rescue me.
Oh, wait, it gets even better. God, can a woman have a career these days?
Yo.
But so that's the thing.
I'll say it again. We support a working woman.
So these comments are what probably
makes it. It's honestly what makes it.
Exactly. It's what makes me laugh the hardest. She's pretty as fuck. She looks like she's from the 90s. Like,
she
what?
Does have like a 90s look.
It's insane.
She looks like she'd be a cast member from Scream.
That too. I do see that. But Your Honor, it was going to be a porno, therefore it's illegal. Now, so this page, they also have a Twitter page.
That one.
Which one, the blondie? Yeah. So if you look at the blondie,
what did she go for?
Assault in the third degree.
Assault in the third degree. My God.
Look at this about the author type mugshot.
What is it? Oh my God.
They said, look, if she's assault, I'm a pepper.
Oh my God.
Like these are look. Third degrees, she's too smart. Look, this is a LinkedIn headshot, not a mug.
That's incredible.
So it gets this page. They have a Twitter.
Okay.
They have a Twitter page and
mug shotties.
Sometimes, so I'm gonna hit this. See it and look what it says.
It's so pink, tight, and gushy.
So this person said that, and he responds on all of them.
Oh, he just stays on mugshots.
So I bet her hole tastes like nectar.
Wow. Perhaps even a sniff.
So this page, I'm going to be honest, it's given me life. And honestly, so you ever heard the rule that like if you're gorgeous, you can get away with anything?
No, 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I don't think any of these women should be doing time.
Oh,
some of them would. Like this one's crazy. So the first one,
murder. Murder. Okay.
So
hey, she has multiple shots.
No. So this is so the first shot is attempted murder. This is when she actually did it.
Oh my.
So they got a before and after on these women, and it's amazing in so many ways. But this page actually is just dedicated to just shaming these women from the mistakes they've. This one is crazy. Which shawty are you bailing out first?
The one with the Joker.
I don't know.
Joker doesn't need our help. Oh my God.
Nope. It's a tattoo. So that's the thing, man. These women deserve a second chance of life. Was like, I think one of them on here was like arrested.
Is that Lindsay Lohan?
I think so. All of Miss Lohan's infamous mugshots.
Yeah. The original mugshot.
The OG. This is the OG one. But bro, like this is an Instagram picture. Look at that. She's guilty.
Would let her burgle.
I licked it. It's mine. It's
no, man. People on the internet are out of pocket. Honestly,
it's really bad.
They'll
But
be posting like,
it's
this kid, he has type 2 cancer or whatever, and then
it's bad what some of them say.
The comments just go out of pocket.
My favorite thing to do now is to kind of like spam everybody on my Instagram page with reels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But I see some of the most craziest things.
Yeah, you just mentioned about the one that all your midgets that you like watching.
Which one? What do you mean midgets that I'm watching? What did you just say?
All the midgets that you like watching.
I wouldn't say it's midgets I like watching. I mean, really, what it is it's just actually no. My favorite person on Instagram. Let me see if I can find them. You can't stand this dude. I know you can't stand this dude.
Which one? I think I know which one you're talking about. There's two people that I like.
Which one can you not stand the most?
I don't even know if I could say it. Like, I just want you to show it, and then we'll laugh, or I either tell you it's the other person.
Let me see if I can find it.
Not trying to get canceled on episode 1.
I don't think we are. I think we'll be okay. I'm looking for it here now. It's funny, like when I need to find it, I can't. So I'm actually just checking our messages that I've sent you because I know I've sent you this probably 30 times in a month, maybe. I also notice I send a lot of reels to people.
Yeah, you do send a lot.
Listen, man, it's one of those things where it's like, if I got 20 minutes, I'm bored. Oh, is this it? I found it. Okay, found it. All right, so I think you know exactly who I'm talking about here. This man, I think, deserves a Disney movie for his dedication.
Ramon-inspired outfit.
So what this guy does is he just...
No, this is a Disney guy. This man makes me angry.
So I don't... this might be his official page.
Yeah,
he, to me, deserves the world.
He's making content. Look at him.
And it's just... it's amazing. So he puts this out there. And so we just saw those women who got messed up, right? Like,
yeah.
The crazy comments. It's not good, bro. This is not a good fit, bro.
Do Frozen.
And then, but look at it. It's amazing. Yes.
Looking great.
Bro, need to stop trying to fight crime. B, start fighting those calories.
People are so crazy.
Oh my God. When I watch reels on Instagram, I'm watching more of. I'm reading more of the comments. Actually,
sometimes the comedy's in the comments than the actual video itself.
That's exactly,
honestly, photo, video.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's so funny because there are times like I think one of the funniest like sayings that has come in the past few years is like I tore my ACL going to those comments because dude, some of them are bad.
Some of them are crazy. Like
bad to the point where I feel like I could get arrested reading some of them.
Yeah. Like it's like out of pocket. You want to like report certain ones.
No, I'm not a fucking
not report, but like
I'm not a fucking narc. I'm not gonna do that. What? No, I think there's no reason to. Because
people are out of pocket though.
That's what I love though. I love the randomness. Like that guy that's his personal Twitter account. So his friends, some family members probably follow that account, and this dude's on there seeing a mugshot saying, "I bet it's tight and gushy." Like you're not gonna tell me that that's insane,
no, dude. But honestly, I wish some of the people that do respond in comments do make content as well. Because imagine if they're funny writing. Imagine if you see them on video saying some of the stuff.
It's possible. No, because that's the thing. Like, I feel like
they probably just want to be hidden. To be honest,
this is gonna be an insane one I got here. I think the funnier you are on the internet, the uglier you are in real life. Like if you are hilarious in Instagram comments, you have to look like a foot. It's something about you is not working, right? Because there's no way you could be extremely good looking and successful in life and be saying that smut on the internet. Like I think the reason that people are that funny on the internet is because they hate
their appearance.
Not their appearance, just they hate some aspect of themselves. Like
oh yes, I agree with you.
Like they're either super large, smell really bad, or they just listen.
I mean, there's a truth behind that. It's like when people make fun of themselves, there's usually a truth behind that.
Exactly, but there are some people who are just genetically dog faces.
Oh my god!
But I also think genetically they are funnier than most people I know.
100%.
Because they have to compensate for it. Like, I think the reason I'm so funny sometimes is because I look like a tub of mayonnaise, especially on camera. And I think that's why I'm like that. It's like, I don't have much to offer, but I'm fat and I'm funny.
Yeah, but you're tall and white.
I am tall. I'm not sure what the white had to do with that part. Yeah. That was a little crazy.
Yeah, you got life on given to you being white. I feel like white.
I don't think I did, though. I don't know. Because I'm pretty sure you grew up in a better house. I grew up in first off, I grew up in the projects.
No, I'm just talking about in the sense of outside perspective going in.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
No. Outside perspective going in is what I meant more so in regards to like being tall and white.
Yeah, like I have like a get out of jail free card.
Yeah, you get a jail free.
You good? Did I speak that? Yeah, no, 100%. Like when people joke around, there's like, yeah, white privilege exists. Yeah, it does.
No,
it
100%.
100% does. 100%. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like I could sit in a car with some of our friends who are not. I'm not. Our friends' skin color. We have a very diverse friend group. I could be driving.
Yeah.
And they could be in the back seat, and they're gonna get pulled over and ask me if I'm okay.
Yeah, you're not gonna get in trouble.
No, 100% it exists. Are you kidding me? I've used it.
Yeah.
But listen,
you should use it in my
100%. It's a racial passive. What do you want me to do?
Mm-hmm.
I rolled my stats when I was born, and that's what I got. I don't understand it. Like people are getting.
I got my 2 parents.
That's what I'm saying. It's like people are getting so mad about like, oh, there's racial injustice. Roll better stats. What do you want me to tell you? At the character creation screen,
you should.
Come on, what are you doing?
You should have done better.
Exactly.
Honestly.
Out of context, that could sound absolutely horrible.
100%.
What I just said.
No, yeah. But I agree with you.
Listen, when everyone's just like, yo, white privilege exists, listen, it does in a context.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm walking on the street, man, do I feel safe in the suburbs.
Yeah,
because I'm white.
Yeah.
Even though I'm pretty sure my birth certificate says Hispanic.
Yeah, it probably does. Hispanic, Latino.
Yeah, 100%. Because they didn't have 2 or more races when we were born. They just had one or the other. Now, yeah, I think it's 2 or more because you can identify as both.
Now
I mean, not
both.
Identify. I literally am both. My mother is white. My father's Hispanic.
Yeah.
So I think you can do it, but I think it's just more along the lines of it's like better RNG, nerd.
Yeah, honestly.
I don't know what you want me to do.
That's how I feel when I walk around with my family because I tend to be one of the whitest ones.
Oh, no. Hold on. What do you mean by that?
What I mean by that is that every time
do you feel unsafe around them?
No,
because they're not the same color as you?
I feel like I have more opportunity or more... What do you mean
opportunity?
Opportunity, just because I'm a little bit of a dark, whiter skin tone. Not as white as you, though. But definitely because my entire family's mostly
what
brown.
Opportunity? Like to get away safe?
Get away safe, not get judged, not get criticized.
There might be a bunch of other things going on there. There's more to that than just...
Yeah, but...
You're telling me if you're just walking in the park with your family, you just automatically feel... Like, yo, if we were to get attacked right now, I'm good because I'm whiter.
You're exactly correct. You literally hit it on the nose.
How does that even work?
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean how it doesn't work?
I've seen both your parents.
Yeah, but my mother's darker than than me.
Yes.
My father's whiter than me.
Yeah, you're like.
But my entire family, outside of them, they're all basically brown.
It's crazy.
So that's why when I hang out with them, then it's like, oh, all right, if something ever goes down,
it's crazy
I'm
how
not gonna
like
look that.
You understand how bad you're coming off right now, right?
Yeah, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, but I agree 100%.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
100%. Like my uncle probably gets stopped at the airport every single time.
I love my family. I will never change them for the world, but I already analyzed.
No, there are some of mine I would change. Like if you told me right now, like, hey, listen, you're gonna get a reroll.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, fucking go. Like I'm
like there's certain family members, sure.
No, I would like my father of all people. Like, could I have come out of a different nutsack?
I don't think so.
I think I need to.
You say that, but I think you love him.
I don't, though.
No, you do.
But like love and hate are the same relationship, right? Same emotion, right?
Yeah, I know for sure.
Yeah, so it's like, I can't stand them sometimes.
But then you also love him. You miss him.
I don't. Like, even right now, I'm not thinking about him. Thinking about us doing this and thinking about also how you just refer to your whole family as brown.
Yeah, most of them are
brown. That's crazy. I can't get away with that. I wouldn't be able to. I would immediately be canceled. But you see, I recognize that. I recognize that since I'm white, One, I can get away with a lot.
Yeah, well, we established that already.
Two, hey man, got lucky. What do you want me to say?
You rolled
Like,
you rolled
I
the
think about it this
D20s.
way. Like, do you think when I play World of Warcraft and I see someone who's like, when like we're in a raid or something and they get like better loot than me, like I get annoyed? No, I don't. How could I get annoyed by that? Like, you think if I'm playing Destiny and somebody gets an exotic engram and it's yellow, that beautiful legendary, and I get a fucking blue, I'm hating that person based on that color? That's the problem, man. Like, people, no, like, they just, it's RNG.
It's RNG.
That's all it is.
Honestly, that's all it is at the end of the day.
Because,
some people
like,
are luckier, some people are not.
That's what I'm saying. That's
honestly what it
horrible.
is.
That's what, I wouldn't say they're unlucky for being born. Just unlucky the times we live in. I think it's just the times we live in that they might be a little unlucky with. But I agree with you wholeheartedly, 100%. But it's, yeah, when we even have like coworkers who I've talked to this about. They're just like, yeah, man, like you have that white privilege. I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, you should accept that.
And but the funniest thing I hear is like, Kyle, you should use your white privilege to help. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Sit in the car with everybody and be like, don't pull them over? Like, no, there's nothing I can do to do anything. Like,
you could stop them.
I could stop them. I could stop.
Stop a lot of things, honestly, with your white privilege. You see, like, I feel like I have some sort of white privilege as well, and this is just more because I gave the context that my family's a little bit on the darker side.
Yeah, because you're sitting at the table with me.
But then, that's exactly what I was going to say. It was until I hang out with you or I hang out with one of our other friends.
Yeah, it's a proximity buff.
Then it's like, whoa, I'm actually not as white as I thought I was.
No, yeah, it's a proximity buff. It's a proximity buff.
Literally.
Like you're in my vicinity. Your stats get buffed all the way.
Yeah.
But again, those I got those racial passives from being born. I can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
like,
you can't do. It's just
my skill bar is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I can use them in any way I want to, but that's just like that's just what it is, you know. But listen, I feel like I'm gonna get in so much trouble for like you compared racial injustice to video games. But have you played a video game? You want to talk about racial injustice?
Yeah, I grew up on Modern Warfare. We grew up on
the Modern Warfare 2 days.
Those lobbies were ridiculous.
I feel like if those men
made me a better man, honestly.
I wouldn't say it made me a better man. It definitely
made me a stronger man.
I definitely became desensitized because of it.
100%.
And I was exposed to a lot.
100%.
In ways that I probably shouldn't have been as a 12-year-old child.
We were around 12.
12, 11 years old.
12.
Ugh, excuse me.
We were fighting with grown men.
Yeah, but they picked it. Like, bro, I'd log on and be like, hey guys, you guys ready to play in Terminal? I'm ready to play Search and Destroy. Yo, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
it's like, oh, okay.
I was being called the N-word a million times a day.
Get her into random lobbies with random guys because they want a 1v1 sniper.
Yeah, exactly.
And just calling you out and you're just 12 years old.
Like people, like, I feel like if those people who were crazy enough to fight back in those lobbies, like those children, like when a grown adult would be like, yo, dude, you fucking suck. Like, what are you, like 4 and 12 on the leaderboard? You fucking loser. Yo, 1v1 me, you fucking pansy. I'm obviously not saying the words that they normally would have said.
Yeah, they were said hardcore words.
Yeah, and that little kid beat him in a one-on-one. That should be my state senator.
Yeah.
Like, grow up to be my state senator.
And then you get those weird guys that would like, send me your address.
Yeah, those were weirdos too.
I'll pull up to your house right now, little kid. It's like, what?
I feel like on those games back then, though, like, we were allowed to do and say so much more because it was such a different time.
Completely different time. There wasn't a lot of censorship.
And we were allowed to get away with murder, with stuff. I'm pretty sure if those recordings ever came out and I was given a file of them and I sat there and read them,
we're done.
I'm pretty sure, like, I know the Geneva Convention is only for war, but
I think I know where you're going with this.
I'm going to prison, for life. Like, I feel like social culture needs to have some Nuremberg trials type stuff to get some of those audio logs, because some people are going down hard.
100%.
With the stuff that, like, we've said and what we haven't said.
I mean, with gaming, like, in general, like, at least when we started playing online gaming, it was such a wasteland. It was still on the come up, I would say. At least voice chat was, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was still a new thing.
It was a new thing. Now, like, every game has, like, censorship, has different forms of, you can't say this, or you're gonna get blocks, or
immediately
chat ban. Like,
even even the word loser. Like,
yeah, you could say one word like on the mic, and it picks it up, and your chat banned, your voice bans. I mean, for like let's say an hour, 2 hours, and then it goes progressively higher and higher and higher. But like back in the day when we were like 12, it was just straight up like the worst words I've ever listened to in my life as a 12-year-old.
It was. I used to have to ask, like, sometimes I used to ask like my older cousins.
Yeah, what does this mean?
Like, yo, what did this person just say to me?
Yeah.
And they were just like, which kind of puts into retrospect some older family members, because I was told immediately like what it was. Like, not like, oh no, little one. Like,
but wouldn't you appreciate that though? Like, I think I appreciated.
No, dipshit, because I was 12. I didn't know the difference. Now being 28, yeah, I appreciate them being honest with me. But if I'm being called like a freaking, I can't even say it, like some of the stuff I was called. I go to like my 30-year-old cousin's time and be like, hey, like, what does this mean? Like, what was I just called? Like, oh yeah, you were called this. It's like, Jesus, you're telling like a 10-year-old, 12-year-old this.
I don't know. When I was 12, I kind of appreciated
like you're contributing to the problem. That's what you're doing.
You're making the problem.
Yeah, you're making the problem 10 times worse.
No, when I was young and I was told, I was like, I 1v1 me, man.
Don't get me wrong. I was an excessive shit talker, even if I was losing, because at the end of the day, it was psychological warfare I was interested in the most.
Yeah. Like
knowing I was getting into a head of a 30-year-old, ruining his day, has a shit marriage, shit mortgage. Wife probably fucking cheating on him. His kids probably hate him, probably call the mom's new boyfriend dad by this point in his life. Like, yeah, the fact that I got in your head and beat you on fucking Rust 1v1, yeah, fuck you, loser.
No, 100%.
I won that.
Exactly, 100%. Makes you think like, wow, their life suck if they're arguing with like an 11-year-old.
Well, I think that way now. 12-year-old, I enjoyed hearing somebody mad.
Yeah.
I enjoyed a lot of like, I like manufacturing someone's anger. Like when I make it myself, I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, you're fucking sadistic.
Yeah, I mean, well, that too. But I think it's like if we're playing around in Discord or something, and what I say, because I'm aware of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if I know certain things are gonna tick someone off in a way, in a playful, fun way, like not gonna insult somebody for like their choices in life. But it's like that's so funny to me.
You like putting a little spark in the conversation.
Yeah, it's like, hey, this.
And then you're gonna be like,
yeah, like they get super mad, and then it's like, dude, like your day's ruined. Like, and the biggest time I do, you've heard me do, is when I play League of Legends.
Yeah,
and I just shit talk the entire time.
Exactly.
It's like
I'm surprised you don't get banned.
No, like I'm 0-7 and completely throwing the game. I just won't shut up because it makes it easier. Because the first instinct somebody's like is like, oh my god, like this guy. Can you believe this? This guy's 0-7, 0-7, top lane's losing, and he's talking shit. It's like, yeah, you fucking nerd.
Yeah, they get so mad.
I love it, dude.
So mad. It's incredible. My
favorite thing is when they drop a slur or something. You're like, got him. Because now I'm reported. Them. Next game we go in, I do the same thing. It's like
it's a cycle. It's a rinse and repeat.
It's like a reaction with me at this point.
Yeah. It's
just like a natural thing I do. The minute you get out of the next game, somebody you reported has been banned. I'm like, that person's pissed.
Got him
later. I'm making the community a better place. Nobody else is.
Yeah, but little do they know you're starting the shit talk.
I don't know about that one. I wouldn't say like I'm starting the shit talk. I just know.
You just comment.
I comment on it.
That starts the person to get mad.
But I'm not getting the person mad.
They're getting mad on their own because it's the truth behind it. That's honestly what it is.
Here's the thing with anger. You can choose to be angry at something. You can choose not to be angry. If they are choosing to be mad at a late 20-year-old playing a video game, and they choose to let their inner monologue out and start saying some wild things, I got to do what I got to do. I got to get you off the game.
I got to make the community a better place.
I got to make the community a better place. I am using hateful content to get rid of hateful content. I am effectively changing the world by being a piece of shit. That is amazing.
No, you are. I mean, yes, you are. Not even technically, you are.
It's like one of those, like, I think, I forgot who I was talking to about it. Not this conversation particularly, but essentially we were just talking. We were telling me like, yeah, but that's like goes back to the saying, like, if you kill a murderer, the number of murderers in the world is still the same. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
No, not even close.
No, not even close.
I never understood that.
Yeah, like if
people say that all the time, and
like if I kill a murderer, that doesn't make me a murderer.
No.
Like, oh, but you took someone's life. Okay.
Yeah, but he just killed like 20 people.
Exactly.
Yeah, you stopped the monster from harming anybody else.
Yes, I never understood that whole thing.
Yeah.
That whole like, oh, like killing someone is never the answer. I think Batman's an asshole for that exact reason.
Yeah.
You're telling me
He lets Joker free like
and then
15
he
million
goes and
times.
murders 40 other people on a weekend. He's like, no, Joker. I can't do that, Joker.
Two-Face and all these people. Like, let them go.
Bullying in them. Done.
That's why I'm a big fan of Punisher. It's realistic to me.
I mean, yeah, in a sense. I don't think what some of the shit he does.
Oh, no.
But the idea.
The idea behind it is like.
You want to know why Batman's gone on for 40 years or like 60 years at this point? Because he just doesn't kill. Yeah. So Batman, to me, manufactures his own crime. How does he do that? Let me tell you. I'm going to tell you in 2 points, Paul. Point number 1. He doesn't kill the criminals. And those criminals go to jail. Yeah. And he knowingly knows those criminals are going to break out
at some point.
And he knows their next plans. And he's just going to go. And it's just this endless cycle that he does. Point number 2. His own morals is what's preventing him from solving the problem. So Batman is a dickhead.
Yeah.
If Batman just killed the Joker, it'd be a lot easier. And you know what's crazy? Don't think anyone would look badly at him for it.
No.
Like, hey, you just killed the dude who just murdered 40,000 people in 10 years. Hey, man, took you fucking long enough. At least to me. That's the way I would look at it. Like, when I watch the news now, I'm like, oh, this one. I feel like serial killers aren't really a thing anymore. It's kind of sucks too. It's like you can't live life on the edge anymore.
I don't know about that.
Like going outside, notice like there's not like a Ted Bundy out there or something. Like living in the 70s must have been horrifying. Like for that exact reason.
Yeah, there was always a killer every other week.
Well, yeah, because like I don't think they were more prominent back then. I just felt like some towns probably didn't even have like DNA testing back then.
No,
like, you're just getting away with anything.
I mean, nowadays, the problem is today there's camera everywhere. Well, not the problem. The good thing that's happening. Let me restate.
I felt like you were on my side there for a second.
Let me restate that.
And everyone kind of heard it. But I do agree. You were on my side for a second.
For a split
yes,
second.
I agree. A world without serial killers is a bad thing.
Yeah,
we need them. Why do we need them? Keep us on edge. Let us know, like, yo, there's some fucked up things out there.
It keeps you right. Keeps you in the straight line. Keeps you going.
It helps. It helps me think straight. Like when I watch like that Jeffrey Dahmer thing on Netflix with Evan Peters.
Evan Peters, I believe.
Like, dude, I was like really creeped out because I was just like, I never want to be that weirdo.
Oh.
Weirdo, and not weirdo in the sense that he was gay, by the way. Just weirdo in the sense that he was fucking
terrifying.
That he was eating people. Him being gay had nothing to do with that equation. It was just the fact that he was. Dude was chopping dudes up and eating them.
Put it on like the fridge and stuff.
Yeah, I think the best thing he ever did. Like, and this might sound horrible. But in that fucking thing, when he just puts his hands up and he just starts fucking jamming on it, I'm just like, that right there shows you what a fucking psycho that person is. And it's so funny. And then Zac Efron did one as
Ted
Ted
Bundy.
Bundy.
Did one?
Yeah, he did.
He did a Ted Bundy film?
Ted Bundy? Who the fuck's Ted Bundy?
Bundy,
yeah. Yeah, no, he did a Ted Bundy one.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh shit, I need to watch that.
Started the whole thing. I think there's a John Wayne Gacy
I know the John
Wayne Gacy tapes are out as well. Oh, my phone went off for a second. Yeah, no, like that's a weird thing too. I hate like when sometimes serial killers are a little romanticized.
Yeah, no, that's
like
weird.
We need to stop doing that, guys.
Yeah,
like,
no, I'm sure baby Dahmer's out there now after watching the show.
That imitation killings I think are probably
I'm gonna pick up in the next few years. Probably after all these documentaries, I think
they're hilarious because it's just like, oh, if Ted could do it, why can't I? Because Ted's not a fucking loser. All right, Ted was smart. He knew what he was doing.
Ted was smart.
You fucking read an article on Reddit and you think you could take over the world. My man, you were getting caught in 24 hours.
Yeah, no.
And there's nothing more about it.
That's the crazy thing about serial killers. It's like they were very smart, a lot of them. Like extremely smart. All of them, I think, were extremely smart. They got away for years, months, or whatever the heck their distance was. But like now you try to replicate that. It's like you just said, you're gonna get caught in 24 hours.
I would say like less than 24 hours. Like you are getting caught almost immediately.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna leave some resonance of yourself on that crime scene, and they're finding you.
Yeah.
Like, dude, like I feel like with like imaging today and like DNA testing, like if you fart in that room while you're hacking someone up, they're gonna be like, smell the methane, take a fucking turkey baster, get the gas, put it in a machine. Oh, this came from Kyle's asshole. Like, this was Kyle Anthony Cole's asshole. Right there, they're gonna break into the studio right now. Break in, fucking propel, crack my head on the fucking concrete, and that's it. I'm done.
I'm done with your serial killing career.
That's one thing too. It's like just it takes that. I feel like it just takes someone having that one bad day.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna hack up 47. It's like, okay, what kind of fucking social life did you have that was the immediate like?
That's crazy. Most of them usually have like some sort of like bad home life. It all stems from like the house, from my readings.
Goes back to the RNG, like I was saying.
Yeah, it literally circles back to the
literally
RNG.
at that point you're just a berserker. You're berserker class. You know, unfortunately, you go into rage, and some people don't come out of it. You know, if you're in rage,
they can't control their rage.
Yeah, exactly. If you're in rage, you know, and you're getting a couple crit misses, like completely understandable. You're in there, and it sucks. And it's one of those things where it's I don't know what to say to you, man. Like you hacked up 47. I really can't have any
47.
I really can't have. If I'm not mistaken, like that's how many I think. That might be how much Bundy actually got. Let me see.
That's Bundy right there.
No, hold on. I think. Hold on. He got a lot.
Bundy had a good
All right,
amount.
so he is expected to have killed 30 people. That's actually pretty crazy. Hold on. How much did Gacy kill? Gacy killed. It's just not going to give me a fucking answer. Fucking cool. Okay, so he killed 33 young men and boys. Some as young as 13 years old.
Jesus.
How much did Dahmer kill? Dahmer killed 17. All right, what is this bullshit?
Yeah,
Like, we need to fucking establish a parameter at this point. Like, I don't understand. Like, a serial killer is a 3 or more. Like, why do all these, like, I almost said some of these goats.
The great of all time serial killers.
They are the greatest of all times. I mean,
yeah, we're still talking about them today in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, it was like at some point you just call a spade a spade. Goat, and it's a really bad category. Like, it's like one of those categories you don't care about, like in the Oscars, like best sound. Like, no one gives a shit about that. It's like, yeah, in life, this is like serial killers. Nobody cares, but there is a goat. And
it's the Michael Jordan in there.
Yeah, it's like that says like set a precedent. Like, is it if you kill 5, you're in the contending. You're over 20. You are remembered. You're dropping 20 people. Like, you're fucking crazy.
What's the Halo one? The 10 kill streak. Kilimanjaro.
Oh, it goes Kilimanjaro. No. That's when you get That's when you get 10 consecutively.
Yeah,
like
10.
When you kill 10 randomly, it'll just go and go killing frenzy. Could you imagine that? Like, let's say you're driving and you get into a really bad accident, and then you're just like coming to, and in the bottom right you hear a noise and it goes double kill. You're like, oh fuck me, fuck. You're done right at that point.
You're done.
It's absolutely, but that's a rough topic to come back from.
No, that's really rough topic.
That's super rough.
So now back to our being white privileges.
I don't see it as that. I think we can definitely see it as other things. I think the most important thing is just roll better stats.
Yeah, that's the gist of the whole story. It's just be born better.
Ow. Wow.
Be born better.
Be born better. That sucks. That's a crazy thing to say.
Be born better. Hey, I have flaws too. Shit.
I think the more flaws you have, the more the more you can criticize things.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Like for me, like genetic wise, I have high blood pressure because of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I have diabetes in my family. I think I have Alzheimer's disease.
Do you really?
I think so.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it's there. I have mental illness in my family. So me as an individual, I have almost every right to hate my family.
Yeah.
And hate everything about them. Like, you guys weren't selective in the breeding process.
Yeah.
You guys were just popping out babies.
Popping them out.
This is what fucking happens.
Exactly.
This is the consequence of your irresponsibility. And I feel like some people aren't ready to have that conversation with their parents.
No.
I definitely have.
That's what I tell my father all the time. Like, his entire family has heart problems, so I'm assuming I will have heart problems at some point. All of them died in, like, early 70s. Every single one of them.
Okay. When it comes to age and everything, it's like, I'm going to set up for this. This one's going to hit home for people. Bro, you make it to 75, anything a day after that is a fucking blessing. If I make it to 80 and I have grandkids and I'm starting to become a nuisance, take me out back. Put one right in between my fucking
So you have
eyes.
the mentality of, like, The minute you start becoming like,
bro, the minute you're collecting Social Security for more than 10 years, you are outstaying your welcome.
okay,
You are outstaying your welcome. And the reason you're outstaying your welcome is only because, like, if life expectancy is 75.
Okay.
Like, hold on, what is the life expectancy?
I'm sure it's probably
in the
higher
United
now.
States? Life expectancy 76.3 years. So let's say 77. Let's round up.
Yeah.
If you make it to 77, you are living past the expectancy. I expect you to die soon.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because this is gonna sound horrible because I have grandparents in their 80s.
I was about to say your grandparents are learning.
My grandparents are 80s, but it's one of those things where it's like, listen, make it 85 years, man. Like, people are only making it to 76. You got an extra 9.
But what if they're doing good? Like, what if they're like going crazy?
Somebody else could use
running
that,
marathons.
Somebody else could use that space on the road. Somebody else could use that, like, house you're in. Like, you've had it for 85 years. It's time to
I
go.
do agree though with one of the. I don't necessarily fully agree with what you're saying, but what I do kind of agree with is like kind of in the sense of like you should lose your driver's license at some point.
That's not what I was fucking saying at all. Is where I was.
I mean,
going
you're
with
saying
that.
you're eliminating people at 70, 76, 77.
I was at. Hold on. I'm giving. Okay, so 76.3 is the expectancy. I'm giving them 77.
Yeah,
I'm
and then you want them out.
Yeah,
That's basically the same, almost the same.
I'm not
thing.
going to take them out myself.
Yeah, but you're basically in your mind, you're just like, yeah, you should die right now. Like die.
I wouldn't say die right now, but it's like, dude, it's coming. Like, I think. All right, I think the world is a better place if everybody on this earth just lives till a certain age. Then at that age, you just drop dead.
Okay.
Because then we've now quantified how long you have on this earth. Because everyone says life's precious because you don't know how long you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm going to live another 50 years pissed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck, I thought I was going to die any day now.
Oh, okay, so you're saying, like, let's say, just to use the 77, if we know we're going to die at exactly 77, you're saying, it's like, I know now what I need to do before reaching that.
Yes.
That's kind of...
Yes, because then if you don't have that, you just have like a bunch of 70, 80-year-olds who are just given syphilis in nursing homes and just fucking taking up space.
Mm-hmm.
It's another big take up space. And I get shit for this a lot. Not as much as I used to when I talk about it, but I do think graveyards are a huge waste of space.
I could see
I
that.
think we've evolved past a culture where we need a tombstone for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I think I like driving by, like even in our hometown, the amount of cemeteries I see, it's pathetic. I'm like, one, because all right, so I have a family member. She's been dead 10 years this year.
Mm-hmm.
I've maybe gone to her grave 5 times since she's been dead. So we're averaging
2 every 2 years.
One every 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I can say, like, I don't go there. I don't know if like her kids or like any of my other family members go, but that is legit just space we're wasting.
Mm-hmm. And
one thing about land, God ain't making no more of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we gotta stop wasting it. I think graveyards are dumb. I think just like in general, just like if you know you're not going to go visit somebody and you just want them to have a headstone to be remembered, I think you're doing someone a disservice in their death. Like to me, like when I die, which who knows when it could be, but my son now, I'll raise him to be like, listen, when I die, don't spend time crying. Like, be like, yo, my dad was an asshole, but he was like, have fun with it. Like, enjoy it. Like, be like, hey, listen, like, yeah, my dad passed away, but here's everything he did in his life, and here's what he did, and then continue life without me, because I ain't coming back.
Yeah.
So move on. So, and my father tells me the same thing too. He's like, listen, you're gonna grow up, and you're gonna be in a world where your grandparents and your parents are all dead.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, it may sound like it's horrible, and people say, oh, use that time you have wisely now with them. It's like, no, like, yeah, use it wisely, but you're not defining wisely. Like, to me, like, I think, like, when my son uses his phone to FaceTime his great-grandparents, I think that's what that is.
Yeah.
Like, you're just calling them out of the blue. Like, oh, yeah, remember I used to do that? Like, I've been to a few funerals, and one thing I don't like when I'm there is, like, when you hear people talking about the person, and the person is just kind of necessarily going, oh, it's one of those things where I missed him so much. Oh, I'm going to miss picking up the phone when they call. Get the fuck out of here. Do you know how many calls you probably denied on them? Go to that motherfucker's tombstone right now, or go to his open casket right now and look him dead in the face, literally, and say that. If you can't do that, I don't believe a word that's coming out of your mouth. Because you know how many times, like, my aunt who passed away, I fucking hit the end button on it? Like, oh, don't you regret that? No, because in the moment, I didn't want to talk.
Yeah.
I'm perfectly fine. Like, not to put it on blast, but your grandpa just passed away.
Yeah.
We used to joke about that man all the time.
Yeah.
That man, 99, right?
99.
So he lives to 99. Bro, you used to tell me, like, man, he's old. Like, there's not much he can do for himself anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it gets to some point, like you brought up my grandfather. It gets to some point where you just notice, like, hey, I think they probably might sound wrong, so I apologize
if you
here.
say better off dead, I'm gonna lose it.
It's like basically like in my grandfather's case, he was bedridden, was forgetting everything. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't even move his hands. So at some point, like I even felt like we're just prolonging his inevitable passing, basically.
That he was just gonna die.
Granted, like of course everybody loved seeing him, loved being around him. He did recognize the occasion when he remembered you.
When?
Most of the time, you were just a person to him.
Yeah.
But like at some point, even I started thinking about it. It's like I think we should let him rest. Like at some point, so like when he did pass away about 3 weeks ago, at this point, there was like kind of a joy in me. There was like a sense of like, wow, like I know he's gonna feel a lot better wherever he's going. If you believe in afterlife, or if you don't, or he just stops suffering.
You just know for a fact he's
not
not in pain.
Yeah, he's not in pain anymore.
Like you're not seeing it anymore, and that's what I mean. Like,
and I personally agree. Like think like, hey, I think that was one of the best things that could have happened to him at this point in time.
At this point in his life, the best thing that could have happened was just him dying.
Exactly. And then, yes, it hurt a little bit, but then kind of what you said, like you want to raise your son, I quickly turned him like, hey, I enjoyed him. We have all these stories about my grandfather being the most craziest person.
Probably the original degenerate.
He's like
bring it up.
Horrible.
Yeah, some crazy things.
But yeah, but now I'm curious on so like for instance, when you pass away, and your son, like obviously, like he's probably gonna do like a funeral of sorts or something.
Yeah.
What do you want done?
What do you mean?
So like for instance, would you want to be cremated or?
Oh yeah, cremate me 100%.
Now with your ashes, what do you want to do with that? Would you want him to keep them, or would you want him to like throw it away?
I actually want to be a piece of shit, and I'm gonna ask for a favor when I die.
Oh, you're gonna be like Kratos, who God of War,
and I'm gonna be like, hey, I want you to take my ashes on the 7th day, on the 7th month, in a year ending in 7, and spread them atop of the Empire State Building. Why? Because this is the most inconsiderate thing you can do to a person. Could you imagine that you're dead and you're asking someone for a fucking favor?
Yeah,
that's
awful.
Insane. I want to do that because it's hilarious.
But
I would just say cremate me.
Cremate you?
I don't care where you put my ashes. I don't care if you throw them in the toilet. Because you're probably not getting all of me.
No.
There's probably like fucking Edward from accounting next to me, or fucking Dean from marketing.
Like a dog.
Just like, or a dog is like, they probably shoved the dog over my legs, and that's what started the fire to begin with.
Snuck in the dog.
Exactly. It's like, bro, like you're not getting all of me in there. So just, it's one of those things where it's like being forgotten is more inevitable than death. Like you're going to be forgotten. Like it just happens. So it's like I don't want to get hung up on it. Like if my son's telling stories about me to his kids and telling stories about it to his extended family whenever he gets married to whomever, that's fine.
How you lived there.
I'm fine. That's how I lived. Yeah. Like even now, like my grandfather had uncles who were my great uncles who he still tells stories about. And these people have been dead for like 70, 80 years. Yeah. And I'm still talking about them alive. That's what I'm saying, bro.
It's the legacy you leave behind, honestly.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what makes life worth living, in my opinion. It's
legacy?
Yeah, like the legacy, the history you left behind. Like obviously you have a son. So I'm assuming there's a part of you that probably feels like I need to start stepping up my game. I need to start being more hardworking, etc. Whatever it was that you started thinking once you had your kid. And then that motivates you to do more and more and more and more and more. But then that in itself is what's going to keep you remembered as when you pass away.
No, I want to be remembered as an asshole.
Yeah, but not to everybody.
Like I want my son to sit there and give my eulogy and start off with these exact words.
Oh, my dad's a fucking asshole.
We're finally glad he's dead. And everyone just fucking yes, he's dead.
I don't think it'll go that way, but
I have like all my exes and probably my fucking future ex-wife sitting there saying, "Finally."
I honestly don't think that.
I hope so. But that's what I'm hoping. Because you know what it is? Like, I don't want a boring funeral.
Yeah, but I mean,
people just like, he's dead. He was the best. Anytime,
that's why you got the boys and all that.
Anytime I needed a friend, he picked up the phone. Now, when people be like, bro, I called that motherfucker, and he used to pick up saying, "The fuck you want?" Like, give them the raw deal of who I was as a person. 100%. Don't sit there in a house of God or a house of Allah or whatever you believe in and try to prop me up, bro. If I go and heaven and hell are real, that man's got a lot more than me not picking up your phone on a Saturday morning at 2 a.m., motherfucker. Okay? Yeah. He's going to pop in the DVD of my life, and I'll be like, don't even. Don't. I know where I fucked up, and do me a favor. Bro, I'll let myself out.
I'm going downstairs.
I'm getting a VIP escort to hell with this shit. Yeah. Not saying, like, I've, like, fucking committed murder or anything, but listen. When it comes to life, live your life to the fullest.
100%.
Whichever way that means to you, just don't affect. If you living to the fullest bothers me, I might take you out myself. Can't have that shit.
100%.
Like when people are like, "Oh, I'm fulfilling myself. I'm protesting. I'm standing in the middle of the street. I'll run you over. I will make you. You will meet your maker right now."
You're bothering my life right now for the next 2 minutes.
It's like you are bothering me. So. Yeah, no, but no, I get it in a sense.
You know what I thought about? Like now they're talking about death and all that. Like let's say you pass away.
Okay.
And they put you in like a church venue.
I'd be pissed.
I know you would, but it'd be incredible. I would be lying. I would be dying.
Yeah, because you know that I'm not religious.
Yeah, I know, exactly. Exactly.
So, but here's the thing though. I feel like
it'd
kill me. Yeah, it'd be done on purpose.
That'd be hilarious.
Like my son goes to you like when he's like older and he's like, "Yo, like Theo Pauly, let's put this motherfucker like in church."
Yes.
Like, yes, let's have a priest.
Especially knowing how you think.
Yeah,
I would be like,
yeah. Your father would have found that.
I'll get the preach right now. I got everything set up. Holy music, everything.
Holy music.
Holy music.
The fuck is that?
Get the guitars out. Put the harp. Holy music.
I don't know what that means.
Holy music.
You're talking about like church music.
Church music.
Like singing. So you're talking like the full.
I want the whole.
You're going full regalia. Thing. Like you have a chorus singing in Latin.
I want everything. I want them to
putting
be
some crazy incantation on me.
I want them to be like, "Hey, Kyle's the most religious person I've ever met." I was like, "Yeah."
Do you know how hard I am laughing wherever I like? If
you better just look at it. I'm just gonna be like this, like,
bro. You're literally. It's one of those things where it's like, okay, because everybody who knew me was sitting in that crowd going, what the fuck is going on?
Exactly.
Kyle was not religious.
They asked me, it's like he actually wanted.
He found God in his later days because he told them he was fucking pissed of the stats that he rolled at the end in his life. So he had some. I'm not. Here's the thing. If it's true when you die, what the Christians and the Catholics believe, or if everybody knows what the fuck I'm trying to say. And the pearly gates exist, and you get to those pearly gates, open them. St. Peter's is like, "Come here, little one." I'm like, "What's up, dude?" And he's just like, "I don't think you're coming in." I'll be like, "I'm sorry. Hold up. I need to speak to middle management here. Get me into like some fucking stupid office with an angel. Probably doesn't have their wings yet. Their name is like fucking like Alva Gafael or some shit like that. Something erotic like that. Get me into that office. I'm going to sit there and they're going to be like, "Hey, listen, we have a couple instances of you taking the Lord's name in vain. I'm sorry. You fucking see what's going on down there? And you're worried about me stealing gum from Pathmark in 94? Like that's what we're worried about right now, huh?" Like, "Yeah, you weren't really in church on Sundays." Like, "Yeah, no, I was in the hospital dying from the obesity and diabetes you gave my family, dipshit." "Yeah, but I could have made a little bit of an effort." And I'd be like I'm the bad guy here. And then what I think is funny, like right after you have that conversation, like it's almost like speaking to a caseworker. Like, "Yo, fuck this caseworker," and you get, found guilty, whatever. You get cast out of heaven. You go to hell. Imagine you get there, and the devil's just like, "Dude, it wasn't your fault. Sorry." That's bad. Come here. Gives you a hug, dabs you up real quick. The devil's like, and you have this like, "Bro, this man actually ain't that bad." And he's like, that's what I'm trying to say to people, man. Like, you go there, like, listen, heaven may be a 5-star resort, but like hell may be an all-inclusive resort. You don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
So what if you get down there and the devil's like, "Bro, there's no torture down here." Like, nah, man. Like that he does that shit, not me. Like, bro, you can listen to some Led Zeppelin, Metallica all you want. I don't give a fuck. The fuck? You see your ex-wife like, "Hey, till death do us part, fuck you," and you're out. The devil's gonna be like, "My man." Like, Just I've always thought about that. Like,
Yeah,
what if it's reversed?
You don't really know exactly.
Exactly. So it's like I'm gonna get down there, get kicked out of heaven, be best friends with those demons. Like, yo, I'm going to fucking Babaziel's house tomorrow. We're gonna play poker.
Beelzebub.
Yeah, it's like, oh, is it Beelzebub? What did I say?
Beelzebub.
Oh, what's
Beelzebub.
Beelzebub? Beelzebub?
Beelzebub, I think. Yeah,
Beelzebub?
Beelzebub. Yeah, Beelzebub.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had no idea what it was. That thing, whatever it is. They'll be like, oh, what are you guys playing for? Like, we're not playing for money. Money has no monetary value down there. It's like, oh, I'm playing with a relic. Yeah, I'm playing with the Holy Grail. Yeah, here's a thumb from St. Edward. That's what I'm playing with. We're just playing for things at that point. That's exactly what, at least to me, that's what I think it is.
I mean, that's valid, especially like we don't have like actual legit proof of like what goes on. So like it's just a lot of it's a belief.
I just hope the check-in process is not annoying.
Just imagine you're in line.
Like I imagine heaven might
like
kind of
be
like
Wii 2007.
No, not
release.
even that. Like I feel like heaven might be like the TSA a little bit.
They pat you down.
And they pat you
go
down.
through your records.
That's exactly what the TSA does.
Yeah.
Heaven is no different from the TSA to me.
That's a hot take.
And then TSA pre-check are those people who go to church every Sunday.
Okay.
Like they're building that resume.
Get the retina scan
That's
and all
what I'm
that.
saying. Yes. Those are those people who get up there quicker. Not me, because I'm not doing that. I mean, I have TSA pre-check because I'm not a fucking peasant. But that's essentially what it is. It's like going to heaven is like airport security. They may or may not stick a finger in your ass, but you know there may be a chance you get taken to the interrogation room, and that's when you're not getting on the plane.
Or there's a chance that you just go through smoothly without even TSA pre-check.
Exactly, and really, that's honestly what life's all about. Either do you want to go through TSA or not.
Honestly, that's a great way of
that's life.
That's explaining it. That's like going to heaven is TSA pre-check.
That's what it is, man. That's all I'm saying.